Welcome back, everybody, to another Foodie Friday. It is your girl, Mannie. If it is your first time here, please feel free to hit that subscribe button and subscribe and turn on that notification bell so you can know when I have another upload. So today I have the most simplest recipe for you guys, and it is a no-knead artisan bread. So simple, a child could do it. There's absolutely no work involved at all. So if you'd like to know how you could have your own freshly baked homemade bread at home, just stay tuned. For our ingredients, you're going to need a bowl, 3 cups of bread flour, 1.5 teaspoons of salt. I am using sea salt, 1/4 teaspoon instant rapid dry yeast, 1.5 cups of warm water, preferably between the temperatures of 90 to 110 degrees or as warm as a baby's bottle. You do not want your water to be too hot because then you will destroy your yeast. A measuring cup to measure your flour and a spoon so you can mix all of that together. So I'm going to begin by mixing my salt into my flour, and then after that my yeast, just to make sure it's all well incorporated in there. So I measured 1 cup of water, and I'm just going to pour half of that in there and start to mix it. I am pouring in my water in 1/2 cup increments just so I can see how the dough is forming, because depending on the humidity, the weather outside, that will affect how much water that you will need for your dough. So you may have to adjust it, put a little bit more, put a little less, but you get to gauge and see what it looks like. So our dough came along nicely, and this is pretty much what it's gonna look like. It's still a little sticky to the touch, but it's not sticking to the side or anything. And pretty much our work is done here. So I'm just gonna take some saran wrap and just wrap it up and let my dough proof. So I'm gonna proof it. I proof mine for 24 hours mainly because I was busy, but you're gonna proof it between 12 to 16 hours. Up to 24 hours. If it is going to be 24, you could put it in the fridge. That way it just slows down the proofing process.
24 hours later.
So I am just dusting my counter with a generous amount of flour so we could go ahead and start with this process. So now you're just going to gently peel or let the dough come out. You really don't want to disturb the air bubbles that are in there. That's what's going to help make it nice and airy. You want all of that, so you just want to gently just pry it out. Okay, so now what I'm doing is just taking it and folding it into itself, just to kind of make a nice little ball into it, or as much as I can, and basically just coating it with a lot of flour. And you're just going to form a ball, just fold it under itself. And now I'm just gonna go let it do its second proofing. So I'm gonna proof it for another hour. And I'm just gonna put it on some parchment paper, dust off a clean kitchen towel, put that over it. The reason why you dust the kitchen towel is so that it does not stick to it. So I do not own a Dutch oven, so I'm going to do it a different way. So the last 30 minutes, what I went ahead and did was heat up some water, and I'm using a cast iron skillet. So I just preheated that in the oven at 450, I believe it was. I'll leave the exact temperature down below. I just preheated that so that way when I put my bread in it, it's already hot. And the reason why I am putting steaming water into a cupcake pan is that because it will create a steam in the oven and help it cook and give it somewhat of a nice crunchy outside. And now I'm just gonna make my little signature lines in there. That is a step that you cannot skip in artisan bread. And I'm going to bake it at 450 for an hour. Now, if you're using a Dutch oven, you want to bake it 30 minutes with the lid on and 30 minutes without. And this is the final product. Comment down below if you tried it. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. And I will see you guys in my next video. Peace.